Welcome to Put a Word on It, a podcast presented by Men of Valor. In each episode, we're going to talk with a different man, but each one with a unique journey from brokenness to freedom. I'm your host, Rudy Kalis. I spent over 40 years as a TV sportscaster, then retired and joined the Men of Valor program as a volunteer, so join the conversation. Reconciling men to God, their families, and society. Welcome to another edition of Put a Word on It, brought to you by Solomon Builders. I want you to meet a young man. His name is Eric Kistner. And my goodness, he reminds me of me, because as a kid, I was one of those, if you dared me to do something, I'd do it. And if girls were around, I had to show off for them. And I don't even know why, these dumb things that we do and get right on the edge of getting in trouble. Well, in Eric's case, it led to trouble. It's just the way some of us are wired. We don't even know why. He doesn't know why. But here's Eric's story. Eric, sometimes it's amazing because you tell me, for some reason, you got in and out of trouble back from high school days. Yes. Why?
I was always attracted to the streets.
What's attractive about it?
Just the lifestyle. The lifestyle. I seen people with the money, the cars. They was real popular, and at the high school I went, there was a lot of that, and I kind of veered that way.
Is it like you say, the money? Did you get money out of it? Were you selling drugs?
Yeah.
Were you taking? You got involved in all of that?
Selling drugs. I've used drugs for over 25 years. Sold drugs that long. My life changed when I started on that path.
Take me back to being a kid. You didn't grow up that way.
Yeah.
What kind of a house did you have?
I grew up with a mother and father in the house, and they was good. They was good parents. And I played ball growing up. I played in Goodlettsville growing up. I made All-Stars every year until I was 14 years old, and then I played baseball and football for Stratford.
So, how did you start to change?
Got around the wrong people.
Yeah, but you know it, don't you?
Yeah, I know it.
And your parents are probably telling you, no, careful who you run with and all of that.
Absolutely.
Did you have any brothers or sisters?
Yeah, I got one younger brother.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How was he?
Followed me.
Followed you?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of trouble did it lead you into?
I think I was 17 years old. I got busted by the police. They come in my mom and dad's house, and found a bunch of marijuana, money. That was my first time ever getting in trouble.
Did your parents know that you were in that? That you were doing that?
No.
It probably hurt them bad.
Yeah, it hurt them bad.
Did they take you off?
Yeah, they took me to juvenile, and I got out of juvenile, and they put me on probation. And as soon as I turned 18, and I think it was maybe a month or two after I turned 18 is when I got incarcerated as an adult.
Sometimes a kid gets scared straight. It didn't make any difference?
No.
Were you trying to prove something?
No, I don't think so. It was just the lifestyle. I don't know. The lifestyle is it's very addictive.
But it had to hurt you that you were hurting your parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you kind of pushed that to the side?
Yeah. Just covered it up with the drugs, the alcohol. It seemed like that I cared more about my friends than I did my family. Now that I look back at it.
How many times did you go in and out?
I couldn't count.
Are you kidding?
I couldn't count.
There's a part about being incarcerated. You've got ink on your face.
Yeah.
How did that start and why?
A lot of pain.
Inside
pain. Yeah, inside.
So what are you trying to do? Hide it?
No, it's just it's got a lot of meaning. People that's passed away in my life, and it's some happiness too. My kids, I got my kids' name on me.
Some guys with ink, they do that because it maybe makes guys inside think that they're tougher, so that you can be free, so you don't get in trouble.
Yeah.
But you just did it for a variety of. But how do you feel about carrying it now?
Well, people know me like this, when people see the change that I've made, and when I walk the streets or when I'm at work, people see that my life ain't always been the way it is now, and just they can look at me and tell that.
How did it change?
It just when I found God,
How'd you
my
find?
life changed. I was in prison, and I got around a group of guys in prison that followed Jesus, and I loved it. I loved it. It helped me get through prison, and it gave me a peace that I've never had in my life. And growing up, even when times was good in my life, growing up for as far back as I can remember, when times was good or bad, I was always missing something in my heart, and I didn't know what it was. But when I found Jesus, I knew what it was. I was missing that.
There's some people that say, guys, that get religion in jail. It's like jailhouse religion. Man, they're just using it to try to get out, make it look good and all. But there's some genuine men whose lives have been changed, haven't there?
Absolutely.
I bet you watched at first to see, are you for real or not?
Yeah.
Watching them.
Yeah.
You told me you did 4 years and then got out and your father died?
Well, my father died 2 weeks before I got out.
Before? Could you go to the funeral?
No, I couldn't go to the funeral. I was in prison one night, and I usually call my father about once a month, and there's always a real long line in prison for the phone. And I walked past the phone one night, and there wasn't nobody in line, and something told me you need to call your daddy. So I called him, and he said, he told me, he said, Eric, he said, son, he said, I just retired. He said, I'm gonna be there to pick you up in 2 weeks. I said, man, that's awesome, Dad. And I said, man, I love you. And my daddy was always the kind of man that when you say I love you, he'd say, you too. That's just what my daddy was. And that last time I talked to him, I said, I love you, Pops. He said, I love you too, son. And I hung the phone up, and the next day I called my mother, and she broke the news to me that they had found him that night. I guess it was sometime after I talked to him.
Was it a heart attack or something?
He had lung cancer.
Lung cancer. How did it affect you? You got out, and what happens?
Well, I got out, and I got out really with basically nothing. I had a relationship with God, but when I got out and I didn't have nobody or nothing in Nashville, I went back to the same stuff that I knew how to do to get some money fast and to get on my feet. And so at that time in my life, I just pushed God away, really, and got back in the streets.
Did you get arrested again?
I ended up violating my community corrections. I went to treatment, and when I went to treatment, I got out of treatment, continued doing the same thing. They reinstated my violation, and then at one point after, I think it was about 2 or 3 months later, I ended up violating again, and I went on the run.
Oh, they caught you though.
Well, yeah, they caught me.
All right, when did it finally stick? And when did you just say, Lord, come through?
Well, I had made my mind up when I went on the run that, I'm just going to run until I get caught because I know they're going to send me back to prison. And when I got caught, the day I got caught, I was ready to go back to prison. And when I went to court, I did some time in Davidson County and got back in court. When I walked into court, one of my lawyers walked in the holding cell for court, and I had my mind made up that I was probably fixing to go back to prison. And he said, Eric, he said, your probation officer, she don't want to send you back to prison. He said she just wants you to get help. And he said she's giving you an opportunity to go to Men of Valor. And I said, I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I need to change.
How do you like it? You're not through with the program, but they got rules and things you got to stand for. Are you afraid you're gonna go back? What makes you? Why not?
No, it's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Got a change in your heart, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a good father today. I'm a good son to my mother. I got a good job. I got a great relationship with God, something that I've never had. God's changed my heart, my mind, and my soul, and He's used men of valor to help me do it.
There are men here who love the Lord, who've been through what you've been through, who are behind you and believing in you. Yeah, I can tell from just your eyes and the way you talk. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired, ready for something fresh, new in our Lord.
I am. I know that, by studying the Word and build my relationship with God, and I see that Jesus is the key to success in every aspect of your life. And I know that, and I follow that every single day.
All right. The program has put a word on it. You got a word for me?
Change.
That's as simple as it can be.
Simple, yeah.
You're different. Put on the new man. The old man is dead.
Yeah.
Man, I'll pray for you.
Thank you.
You're going to have a good life. Boy, I loved talking to Eric. He was such a good young man. Change. That's what so many of us, we want to change. We want to be a different person than we are. With God's help, we can. Now, for him, he's even told us after we got done with the interview, he said, I want to invest in somebody's life. I want to tell some other young man, careful, this is the stuff that I did. I want to change their lives before they make the same mistakes that I did. Sometimes God uses these things in our lives to teach us something and then tells us to pass it on to others. I'm really, really hopeful for his life. He'll be a good young man. Thanks for joining us. Join us again next time as we put a word on it.